back again. It's the only way it can open. It's the only way it can happen. Mm-hmm. We're back.
Several people beat you to your phrase.
We're back. Season 2. Episode 1. I think I hope we didn't forget how to do this whole thing.
We didn't forget.
Just basically talk shit about nothing. Have technical issues.
No, we have a lot to talk shit about.
Yeah.
What's going on, everybody?
What up?
Good to see you.
We're doing a podcast.
Yeah, we're back. Nobody's coming onto the show but us, so hopefully we don't bore you guys, but we missed you too.
Yeah, we did.
So let's start talking some shit, man.
All right.
First of all, somebody just walked by in the background of your house. Are you alone?
I'm not alone. Megan is here.
My first complaint is that I opened this bag of Star Mix by Haribo, and there was only 3 twin cherries in it.
Some bullshit.
It is bullshit, because that's the best one. You guys want to see my wrist?
Oh, yeah, your surgically repaired wrist. Look at that.
Can you see that?
I can see it. The people
that's
can...
2 weeks,
Oh!
2 weeks out of surgery.
How's it feeling?
Feels great. I climbed today. We climbed 3 times on it. I mean, really easy stuff, but I'm not allowed to twist my wrist for a few more weeks, but I can do like straight arm stuff. So I can do pull-ups, some weightlifting. I can do easy climbing, stuff like that. So
that's crazy.
It's crazy, but I'm psyched because, it's been 2 years that my left has been injured. And it's really frustrating because I used to be better lefty than I was righty. And I would hope that, I get that back one day. But anyway.
Well, there's nothing like injuries like that, though. Just they make hard work like nullified. And that sucks. Like when it's like no matter how hard you work, it goes downhill. Doesn't matter, it just doesn't matter what you do.
Yeah.
That's super frustrating.
There's that person again.
Yeah.
Walking around back there. You're not alone.
I'm not alone. If anything happens to me, guys, call 911. I have 2 cats here, too. There's no way we're getting through the show without one of these cats attacking me.
I have a dog now. I didn't have a dog last time we did the show.
One-Eyed Jack.
Jack. Thanks for welcoming us back. I know you guys have a lot of other competing shows to watch now.
It's true.
And none of them eat gummy bears while they're talking to you.
Yeah.
So it shows you the amount of respect that we have, that we're willing to eat gummies with you as if we're all together.
It's
eating
zip
this
tea.
Shit in one room. Just a big, happy fucking family.
That's right. Like arm wrestlers are. We're all on the same team, bro.
Here's what I think.
Okay.
We used to have a legend about Alexi. And he's got all these fanboys. He's the best ever. But the reality is he's a drugged out idiot that is banned for life now. But I would submit to you, John Brown, that Devin Loretta is the new person that fits into that category. Not the drugs and not the asshole part, but he's the guy that everybody thinks is superhero, Superman is going to beat everybody. I think he's going to be now one of the top 225-pound guys in the world, if not the best, one of the best. And that he should turn his back on trying to be 270 pounds and going up against those big monsters. I don't think that's him anymore.
Well, the supers have changed over, 2019 now? 10, 15 years. The supers have changed quite a bit, right? Because it used to be, Bresnan was the best super heavyweight on the planet for how long at 215 pounds? Between 215 and 225. And he was the best. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if that era is around anymore. You have all these super freaks, you know what I mean? You have, Dennis, who's just unbelievable, strong. But, let's be real honest, he's a science experiment when it comes to chemicals. Mm-hmm. And whether you agree with that or not agree with that, whether it should be in sports or not, that is the case. Like, that's just what the reality we live in right now.
It is the reality we're living in, and, I don't think Devin wants to do that. He's over 40 now, like some of us, and what do you really want to start fucking around with that stuff? I mean, he's got a beautiful family. He's got a lot of stuff going on for him. He doesn't need to be that guy. I think he's got plenty of matches and plenty of interest, and he's going to be on ESPN. Maybe not ESPN, whatever the fucking channel is that WAL's on now.
Yep.
He's going to be on there. He's going to get a following. He's a fun guy, you know. I mean, why bother putting yourself through that, trying to keep up with those? I mean, look at Levon. Levon's going to beat everybody, in my opinion.
Yeah, at a certain point, Levon will be probably the guy. I think he has a couple.
He's a 300-pound guy that can climb a rope with no feet.
No,
it's
right,
insane.
right. You begin to have as time goes on, you're just going to have there's going to be a bigger gap between all these guys, right? And the thing is, the benefit that Devin has is that he's a huge guy. He's very, very big. His frame's huge, and he can make 225, which is a pretty crazy combination, right? The thing is, like, maybe Devin's perfectly fine being somewhere 5th to 10th place in the world at super heavies, and he just wants to keep trying, and that's cool too. But I think that's where we're going to stop. You know, I mean, I think there's going to be a certain amount of people that are just too big, and maybe too.
I think so.
Too.
Chris Scobby says it took us 3 minutes to start crying about drug use, new record. But I want to point out that I was already crying about the lack of twin cherries in my gummy bears bag.
Yeah,
so
Chris.
That wasn't even my first complaint.
Yeah, Chris. So catch the fuck up.
I started the show off with a complaint.
Yeah, right. It was about candy. You complained about candy, but you didn't complain about the wrist surgery.
Dude,
so
I didn't complain about that.
You didn't?
Yet.
Yeah, right.
I have plenty of time to do that.
Right. Yep.
I would like to see Devin versus Todd Hutchings.
Me too. That was the match for WAL. They missed that. They gave Todd a huge disservice, in my opinion. He's the only athlete that went undefeated that whole year. Never lost. Everybody else lost. And he's not the king. How does that work?
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird how he sort of fell through the cracks, you know?
Yeah, I don't understand.
Several people. Jerry Cataract got screwed over. Todd got screwed over.
Well, how did Jerry get screwed over? Because of the goofy ass match with Devin, or?
Well, first of all, there was that, but secondly, he beat Michael Todd, and it was Michael Todd versus Devin for the champion. I mean,
right? Yeah, and I mean, and the thing is, like, in that equation, it wasn't even so much, in my opinion, that Jerry got screwed as just as much as Todd Hutchings got screwed.
Yeah,
because he deserved the spot. He was undefeated. The only two guys that were undefeated were Devin and Hutchings, so they deserved the final spot. And for some reason, Todd goes completely undefeated the whole year. Very impressive in every match, and he's not the king. That doesn't make any sense. And I just think that'd be a fun match because of the things that the strengths that Devin has. So does Todd in a lot of ways. You know, like the things that makes people break with Devin. It's not his technical ability and all that stuff that makes people break with Devin. The fact is that if Devin has a match that goes longer than 20 seconds, you're pretty well fucked with him. And it's a similar thing with Todd. That's what makes it fun.
I think Todd would win.
I think it's a good chance. I mean, some of the positions he was in with, like, Marcio, and Marcio couldn't pin him, was insane to me. Like, to have that little control and still be able to keep center of the table just with the arm, I mean, that's insane pressure. I don't think Devin would want that to go anywhere near a hook, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
I think he can manipulate the hand, but with Todd, you're never sure if that's going to matter or not. Mm-hmm. That's the scary part. You do all this work to get advantage, and all of a sudden it doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think his. I think Todd's amazing. After watching him with Ron and Marcio last season,
right? I
mean, it was just It was shocking and not shocking all at the same time. And then watching Devin, like I said, I feel like the two of them are kind of right at the point where this would be the ideal time for them to have a match. And I hope they make it. I think it would be such a big match to watch for all of us, even though maybe the rest of the world won't know what's going on. But for us, it would be amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I hope the WAL doesn't still view Todd as a 195-pound guy.
Allison does. She keeps posting on Facebook that he's he's got X number of hammers. But if I were Todd, I would much rather compete with guys where I don't have to go and turn myself into a fucking skeleton. You know what I mean? And sit around in the bathtub for hours on end and being dragged around the hotel room, almost dying. I mean, he's like 10 years older than me.
Yep.
Why the fuck do you want to do that? I mean, he's incredibly dominant now at his actual weight. Why would you cut to 205, 200, and 195 of him? There's no point to it.
Oh yeah,
and
the thing is, like, if you want to go around saying you're the best middleweight that WAL's ever seen, then go right ahead, because Todd, you are, for sure. Also, with the WAL, they don't have, like, in terms of these one-on-ones, they don't give a shit about the weight, from what I can tell. I mean, I'm sure there's some kind of, hey, this person, we want this person, and this person says you can't come in any heavier than 205. I'm sure that stuff does happen, but they weigh them and then they just have them pull. It doesn't matter really what they weigh. So I'm sure Todd doesn't have too many plans on cutting unless there's a real good reason to.
Right. I don't think there is. I mean, it's not like it was before. The tournament stuff is gone, and it's more fun now. It's just the super matches that you can like hand pick. I mean, it would be cool. I was thinking Krause and RVJ would be a great match, but it'd be fun to see Krause and Todd too.
Well, Krause and Todd, we've seen it a lot.
We have seen. You're right. We've seen it.
Krause and RVJ, we haven't, and that's an interesting match.
Yeah, I want to see that one bad.
That's an interesting match.
I want to see that one really bad.
Mm-hmm.
I hope we get to. I mean, I posted it on their site, and as you know, I'm extremely influential, so I'm probably going to make those matches right away.
There's probably a meeting about it right now.
Yeah, did you guys hear what Josh said? These are the three matches.
Hey guys. Hey guys, look.
One thing that angles and politics, interesting. We got some questions. People, I was going to say something important before we get to these questions, and that was that. Oh, I remember the top 8 that PAL's doing.
Yeah,
it's not a top 8. They got a good top 4 or 5. They don't have a top 8, and that disappoints me. I mean, I understand from what I understand because of the WL season about to start. People like Chafee and Todd and Devin cannot do that and PAL at the same time. So why didn't PAL just wait?
And I don't understand that, because what I thought was that the WAL hemmed you up for North American or TV. I didn't think it had anything to do with international. I thought that's the last I knew. Yeah,
that's what they're saying. So I mean,
there's no clarity.
How do you have the top 8 without Chafee, for example? I mean, you can make arguments about other people, Devin and Michael Todd and Jerry Carteret, but how do you do it without Chafee?
Yeah, and the thing is, I thought about that. I saw that. Obviously, it was notable. With Chafee, I wonder, I'd have to ask Dave, and I'm sure he wouldn't mind telling anybody, but do you think he just got frustrated because he earned his way to Dennis and they just won't give him to him?
I don't know. If that's what's happening, I would be super frustrated too. It's like, we don't want Dennis to lose.
Well, that's what happened, right?
What else is the explanation? I mean, why isn't he going up against? They should have announced it immediately.
Yeah,
first of all, he should have been going up against him anyway.
Well, they tell him, hey, you got to pull this guy, and he smashes him. Okay, pull that guy. And he's like, he smashes them, and it's like, what else do I have to do?
I don't know what the issue is. I mean, PAL is a political organization for sure, so they make decisions. I mean, the United States audience is a tiny, tiny portion of who watches their stuff. So I think they're probably making decisions based on what matches they think Eastern Europeans want to see.
That's probably they don't give a shit. But I'll guarantee you that Eastern Europeans want to see Chafee pull.
I would think.
He's incredible. He's a great arm wrestler. He's a respectful athlete. I can't imagine he's hard to work with in terms of promotion.
Chafee is an incredibly nice guy and easygoing.
Right, and he just wants to pull. He wants his chance to prove that he's the guy. He doesn't even he's going to show up. You don't really have to worry about Dave backing out or doing anything shady. I don't think. I really don't. It's just, I wonder if he just said, you know what, fuck it. You're not giving me what I want. I'm going to go where they want me. I like who likes me. WL says they like me, so that's where he went.
My guess is WL has something going on right now that's active he doesn't have to travel overseas for. So why not do it? And PAL top 8, whoever wins it, maybe he can come out at the end and go up against that person.
Yeah.
Is the top 8, do you know, I haven't been paying careful enough attention, is it a series of super matches or are they doing a tournament?
That's what I don't know either, because I look at that lineup, and if you do it where, if you do it where you have all the matches on one day and then like 3 months, 4 months later, you have another set of matches on the winners, those light guys have no shot. You understand? You know what I mean? But if you have it in the same day, all of a sudden, some of those light guys have some good chances. Because isn't Prudnik and Babayev in there?
Yep.
I'm telling you right now, if any one of those guys has any trouble, any of those super heavyweights have trouble on their arm, those two will make it known. I mean, that's how Babayev's done so well in overalls at Zloty. He gets those big monsters, and he has a little bit more in the tank than those bigger guys. They're just too big.
And if it was a round robin format, I would bet on Rustam.
Or Prudnik.
That'd be so awesome.
Prudnik's tough
Prudnik too,
over
but
time.
I would pick Rustam over Prudnik. But I think in a round robin, if it was a tournament, you could go to either one of them. I think Prudnik is such an amazing arm wrestler. I mean, I think some people know who he is over here, but he's just fucking incredible.
Yeah.
Every time I watch him, it's shocking to me, man. How good this guy is.
Yeah, Prudnik's scary because he's so versatile. He's so damn strong, and he can pull for a real long time. He has like a little bit of everything, and not to knock the Eastern Europeans, but typically they're not like that. Typically they're either super super explosive and super strong, or they have one good move, and it's just devastating. But Prudnik can kind of go anywhere.
And he's got like what you would consider to be like a top roller frame. He's tall and relatively thin.
Yeah.
But he's got that nasty Prudnik hook, which is almost like a press hook. Just watch him do it, and it's
well, his ability to climb inside that hook, like he just shoves his arm through it so much, where you're holding onto his arm after a little while, and he's a very technical guy, and he's also, it's got to be frustrating competing against that guy because I've never seen anything but a ref script with him. He wastes that 30 seconds every time, which is also kind of rare over there.
He's patient.
Yep.
Yeah, and usually the vast majority of his matches go to straps too. So in order to watch him arm wrestle, you got to be patient because even watching, it's going to be a minute and a half before you get to see him pull.
Yeah. Yeah.
Somebody says Jonathan Lavis says your beard is looking amazing. So we heard about my wrist and how it's doing, which is to say good, but people are asking about your shoulder, Mr. John Brown.
Yeah. It's there. I mean, I'm working with it. It's still improving. It gives me some trouble, but it's mostly range of motion. I'm still trying to improve. It's just taking a little longer than I had hoped. They told me I was done, so anything I get after this point, I'm pretty happy with. I gave myself 2 years to get back to where I was before the surgery, and I think I'm pretty on track with that. It doesn't move like my right yet, but it's real close. It's real close. Like I can, my right goes up, my left, I can get it pretty good. The thing that's bad about it is my external rotation. So I get here, and then when my left, that's as far as it goes.
Wow.
So it's a little stiff, but if I warm up real well and stuff, I get a little bit more out of it, and it's steadily getting better. But in terms of like training and stuff, I'm training very, very hard. I'm training it just as hard as my right. It's just going to take time. As Alex saw.
Well, we got plenty of time. You're a young man. As long as you don't get hit by a truck, you got plenty of time to get back.
Yeah, I don't have any plans on that. So.
Yeah, don't get hit by a truck. That's my best advice for you. And you should rematch Alex, 6 months or so. Because Alex is going to be going to get his PhD, so he's going to be studying all the time. He's going to be concentrating on biology, focusing on intelligence.
Yeah.
Sneak in there and just rip his arm off. He's not paying attention.
I can sneak up.
Yeah.
Beat him and then never see him again.
What else has happened since we were last? A lot of stuff has happened. We lost Pushkar and Oleg Zok's dad, obviously. Dude, I saw him, Pushkar, at Worlds, and I saw Oleg, and I saw Pushkar. We had this at Worlds this year. There was one gigantic cafeteria that everybody ate in. It was really good food. It was in Turkey.
Yeah.
Everybody would be in there all at the same time because they opened it at a specific. It was like all you could eat, but you had to go in at a certain time and leave a certain time. So everybody would be lined up outside. We'd all pile in there. Really good food. But Pushkar and his wife and his kid were in there every day, and the whole time he was chasing his kid around, like just being a dad. laughing,
Right,
hold them
yeah.
upside down, tickling them, just oblivious to everybody else, and people were leaving him alone because he was there with his wife and kid. And it's just like, it's so fucked up. We were all getting ready to watch that thing, and then suddenly it starts showing up on Facebook everywhere. There's been an accident, and the reports are all fucked up as
Yep.
usual. But when it turned out that he actually was gone, it's insane.
Well, it's just nothing but tragic. Just so horrible, There's really not much else to say, and it's really tough because, so many people will look at these guys as characters in a lot of ways, because a lot of people aren't ever going to meet Pushkar or Oleg or a lot of the guys over there, and then you get to see this moment, which is everybody. Of course, he's just being a dad. He's just a person. He's just a person like anybody else,
Big
and then
person.
and that's yeah, very big person, and that's that's what you're left with. You're like, man, I just saw that guy, and like how young he was too. I don't think he was 35. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy.
It's fucked up. It's a huge loss, and I'm curious to see what's going to happen with Oleg. I saw the first sort of interview with him. When they were at his rehabilitation center and they were talking to the doctors and stuff and going through all the different things that happened. A lot of things were going through my mind. I don't know if you guys have seen that video, but you should watch it. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
Number one, he's getting a really huge amount of individualized attention, which indicates he's really fucked up. Like, his injuries, regardless of the bones and physical stuff that can be healed, the damage that he received neurologically is significant, because they have him doing things like putting blocks in orders and sorting things by colors, really basic stuff, trying to reprogram parts of his brain. And you can tell by listening to him that he was having trouble collecting thoughts and putting them together, and also based on some of the stuff that his the rehabilitation workers were saying, it's kind of shocking, that we are all worried, oh shit, he broke his left arm, is it going to get better, is he still going to be a good arm wrestler?
Yeah.
That's
Bigger
the least
than
of his worries, to
Right.
be honest with you.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of stuff going on, man. It's frightening how quickly things change.
Well, and especially something like the brain, it takes so long to heal, and it's so tough to even know what's going on. Like we can X-ray his arm, we can see what's going on. We can, brain's not the same way. So, but at least we got a chance to try with him.
We did.
Yeah.
But anyway, I hope we see him again.
Yeah, I bet. Like you told me, he's young. He's real young, so he's got some time.
What do you think? What was I going to say? See, man, I keep reading these comments. I'm losing my.
Forgot how to podcast, bro.
This isn't even a podcast. It's like we're on video. You know what? I can honestly say I haven't watched a single minute of any other arm wrestling podcast, but I also haven't watched a single minute of our podcast.
No,
ever.
Of course not.
So,
God,
I'm not sure what that means. I'm aware that they exist. I just don't watch them.
Yeah, me neither, really. Not because I'm not interested or whatever. Yeah, right.
I think it's good that they're all out there. I think it's good that people have more choices than just listening to a couple of assholes like us. Oh my God. We don't have red hair either, so that's one major deficiency that we have.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to think now. We've never had a sponsor.
No.
We've never paid anyone to be on the show.
No.
We've never paid ourselves to be on the show.
No.
We really haven't spent any money on this show at all.
Thank the Lord. Pay for that?
The other thing is our shows are like 90 minutes long, way past the saturation point. Like doing a 5, 10, 15-minute show, that's how you get a lot of views.
Yep.
So we're doing everything wrong. We're not like paying Bresnan to be on our show. We're not doing like 15-minute quick little segments. So we're fucked up, man.
Yeah, that could just be over my entire life. Kind of fucked that up.
We're gonna have to settle for 300 views.
Yeah.
That's our bailiwick. This is our area of life.
That's okay. That's all right.
What are we saying over here? Yeah, there's a lot of comments. No, I love Ryan Bowen. I'm just saying he has red hair.
Yeah.
Ryan Bowen has been on this show at least twice. And besides,
Yeah, at least.
dude, do you know how much I get made fun of on the internet? It's like a daily basis thing. It's good for your self-esteem to get made fun of. Oh, Nevin, come on. I don't watch any videos about Trump, but that's not true. He's saying that I don't know anything about arm wrestling because all I do is post about Trump. This is a politics-free show.
We made that rule a long time ago. We made that rule so long ago.
Someone says they would watch the Gabi show, but that little fucker never invites me.
Oh, that's not.
That would be a fun show, man.
It'd be
Gabi
fun.
Should do a show.
Yeah, you should.
Actually, I saw he did a show with Joe Drellick. How'd that go?
Yeah, him and Herman too.
How was that?
I listened to a bit of it, and it was all right. Wasn't bad.
All right. It's good.
Once they get their technical issues, and trust me, we know all about those. So once they get that sorted out, they'll be a lot better. But yeah, I think they'll be all right.
So who's going to nationals this year now? There's only one in Anaheim.
Yeah.
You know what's? I want to go, but here's the thing: the Pan Am Games, the very first Pan Am Games, which are for Canada, the United States, Mexico, and Central America.
Right.
They're happening the week before nationals.
I know.
It's Costa Rica, and I think that would be really fun to go to. I was looking at the early sign-up numbers. It's not impressive. I think they have a total of like 50 or 60 entries so far, which is super small. I mean, we're months and months out.
Yeah.
And I would hope it'd be a lot bigger than that. But it's in Costa Rica, man,
Yeah.
So I was thinking Costa Rica for the Pan Am Games or go to Worlds in Poland. It's not much of a choice.
Yeah, I'm not going to Poland.
I mean...
But I'm thinking about going to nationals.
Yeah. It is not invite only, Jonathan. Okay, you know what? I'm inviting you, Mr. Labo. Come to Pan Am Games.
There you go.
Invitational sense that you have to be invited, but it could be some kid walking by in the street who invites you. So
yeah,
it wasn't a kid. It was.
It's like that invitation where you ask and they go, "Okay, you're invited." They just call it an invite.
We are the two old. Oh my god, dude! I would love to be those two old guys in the balcony in the Muppets. Thank you.
Oh my god, yeah, that's perfect. That's perfect.
Dennis, by the way, his left arm is disgusting. I had heard rumors about it. I wanted to see you and Seth go lefty, but Seth didn't enter the tournament at New England's, unfortunately. He wanted to. He waited till like 2 seconds before the bracket started. He was like, "Can I get in the brackets?" Like, no, man. They're fucking.
Oh, is that
set.
right? What do you? Yeah.
I was like, dude. I asked him too. I was like, "Seth, enter the brackets. Enter the brackets." No. It's like the super match is gonna be over. And he was amazing. He destroyed Worley, which I was very surprised about. I thought that was gonna be a closer match. But anyway, he didn't enter the New England's and. So we didn't get to see Dennis.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? Like, a lot of people do not enter the tournament that they pulled that super match with the same arm. It's like, if you're planning on doing this, just do it, man.
Right.
Just do it. There's no reason not to. What, were you gonna get beat? Like, that's half of the fun of it. Is if you find out even if I'm tired, can I still do this shit? The answer is yeah, you can.
Seth was hoping to get the #1 ranking lefty by beating Dennis, but it turned out Dennis lost to. Daniel lost to Talbot 2 weeks earlier, or something like that.
Yeah.
So Talbot had the #1 spot. So now Seth's going to beat him lefty.
I hear Talbot and Kenny Smith are going to be pulling left-handed.
Interesting.
That's a good match. That's a hard match.
That would be fun to watch.
There's no way that's fast.
Probably not.
That's not going to be a fun match.
Jonathan, well, I heard that it's 3 people per country per class. So, I don't know. It's 1. I don't think so. I think it's 3 per country per class because they're trying to get a decent-sized group to start off with.
I think Simon's like the contact for that, yeah?
He is. Simon is the contact. Doug Ehrlich is just telling me he wants to come to New England. Dude, I'd love to have Doug up here. Who would be a good matchup for him from someone in the New York, New England region?
Doug Ehrlich?
Yeah.
What weight is he walking around at these days? 85?
I think his aim was 165, and I assume that's still going. Chris Gabi just posted Seth won't beat Paul. I agree with that. I think Seth is amazing, but I do not think he'll beat Paul either.
Paul's big now. He's so much bigger than he was.
Yeah, I mean, that's the question of what is the weight going to be? Doug Ehrlich versus Paul Lynn. Lynn is going to be way bigger than Doug. Paul
Yeah.
Lynn at 190. Come on.
Paul Lynn at one. No,
There's no way
he's not making
I mean, I
90.
think he could do it, but why would he?
I don't think he could these days. He's big. He's damn lean
Doug,
too.
Doug's 180 right now. He just
Okay.
So. Yeah, there's a lot
That's
of
a
people
tough. That's a tough match
yeah.
for anybody.
Who would you invite if you got to pull any? Have anyone to pull it? Dan Hall versus Doug. Dan is awesome, but Dan is not. I don't think Dan can.
Well, yeah.
I'm thinking about it.
Dan's got longevity, that's for sure. He can pull for a long ass time. He was always good with endurance.
We talking righty or lefty?
I don't know.
I assume righty. Yeah, Paul Lynn at 190 versus Doug would be a great match. I just don't. I mean, that's.
I think Paul would have to lose
Paul
around
walked around like 210.
2050. I think it had to lose like 25 pounds. Paul would. I think he's about 215, 210, something like that.
Yeah, 210 is the last time I asked him. That's what he said.
Yeah, he's a thick motherfucker. That's for sure.
Jake Charles. That's an interesting. Jake Charles. He walks around about 190.
Yeah, Jake is that weirdo sticky strength too.
He does have very bizarre strength.
I like Jake.
I love Jake.
Damn
I
good
think
puller.
I love watching him pull. He's one of those guys that's just fun to watch.
Yep.
You know?
Yep. Unassuming.
There's a lot of fun matches coming up. I heard. I hope this is not true. But there was a chance this was going to be the last Arnold's. Did you hear that too?
You know, to be honest with you, I hear rumors of that every year, so I doubt it. I hope not. I hope it's not the last one. But
did see
I
a
hear
post
that every
saying
year.
that more women have to join it. They're going to cut the women's classes.
Well, it's a hard, what are we supposed to do? I feel terrible for the dedicated women in this sport in the United States. I really do. Because there's some dedicated women out there, and they show up and they pull classes
Dude,
2 and 3.
I've done
too bad.
5 or 6 charity events over the last year, all for women, like brewers. Like they make beer, but they have these like tournaments.
Yep.
They get so fucking amped up. They get all dressed up, and it's like wild. There's like 300, 400 spectators who all pay to be there.
Mm-hmm.
And they raise money for a different charity every time. And it's like, it's insane. It's so much fun. They're so serious. They train for it, and they're awesome. It's like, if we could capture that, it would not be hard to recruit women. I mean, like, they're the most fun events I've ever been to. It's not even close. Because
No, for sure.
First of all, it's like 16 people, so it's over fast, and everybody has the matches, and they have their costumes, and they're all serious, and most of them are pretty strong too. I mean, they're carrying around heavy stuff and the breweries and all that kind of stuff. So there's something to be said for that. We have no theater in terms of our actual tournaments. Like the WL has its own version of theater, which is what rules are we going to use for this match? But I'm talking about theater like this is fun. This is fun to watch. It's enjoyable. It's entertaining.
Yeah.
We don't have that.
I wish there was a better way to broadcast how fun a practice is. Because I think that's the biggest thing we got to start switching in the sport. I've said it before, I think, is that I wish more people would have their first experience in a training environment than in a competition environment. Just because there's so much less pressure and there's everything in terms of a brand new person. There's so many more benefits than a competition. A competition, you pay to get in. If you enter one class, you have 2 chances to lose. You can stay after and pull and stuff, but a lot of people don't want to sit around and watch the rest of the tournament. And are also kind of maybe a little, unless you're a really open person, you're probably not going to stick around and just start asking questions to everybody. But if you go to a training, it's free. You can pull and lose as many times as you want. You can ask as many questions as you feel like it. I think it's such a better environment for anybody new. It's just that I don't think the people who haven't done this understand that there's training everywhere. That's the biggest thing I hear when somebody new comes through. I didn't even know that there was anywhere to train with this. And my wife looked up on Facebook and saw that there was, and I talked to so-and-so, and then they brought me here. And it's like, yeah, I wish more people would know that there was these free
totally
places
fun.
to just show up and go, yeah, I want to try this out. And if you stay there for
Boston, Mass, Sundays, 11 a.m.
There you go.
And Wednesdays, and sometimes Thursdays. This week we did Thursday.
Nice.
Because Fitzy's yard was flooded.
Oh, not nice. Not as nice.
Dude, it was 6 degrees 3 days in a row, and then suddenly it's 56 degrees, and all the snow and ice melted, and there was a giant lake over the entire state.
Yep.
So you needed a rowboat to get to work.
Mm-hmm.
It's ridiculous.
Yep. Similar thing happened
Someone's
here.
saying that when is the trend nationals? Dude, you know what? Go for it. I think there should be a steroid invitational. You can have people come in. You can bring a fucking gorilla if you want. You know, you can just do whatever you want. You can inject right at the place. Everybody, there could be a steroid booth where you line up before your match and get a quick little anadrol or whatever, and just see what the fuck happens, man. And you know, people have 3 or 4 arms. That's cool. Go for it.
I think that's just arm wrestling right now.
Yeah, but then when you go to the tested nationals, don't be a prick. Don't.
Well, that's it, man.
Drugs. If you're gonna go to a tested event, don't be a goddamn prick.
If you yeah, I mean, if you go to a tested event and you've used drugs I mean, listen. If you're in a tested event, you're hoping that other people aren't using.
Right. You're looking for a cheating advantage.
I don't know why you'd ever bring a knife to a fist fight, but
because you don't trust your fists, because you think you're going to get your ass whipped.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You know, it's a complete. It's a lack of a lot of things in that situation, but.
Chris, the only reason we hate on drugs is because I don't want you to stop watching the show, Bobby. And I know that if we don't complain about something every, 10, 15 minutes, you're going to get bored and leave.
Yeah.
That's why we do it. It's only for you.
He was sitting there like this, just like leaning and falling. And like every once in a while, like his wrist would just like curl in like a hook. Like he was just like, this is what he does in his sleep. He just like starts to hook. And then he's like,
I bet he does. Mike Shalhoub walks around like this all day. Just doing this kind of stuff, testing his way. I bet Chris does that too. I need to come up with something like that. I need like a little top roll move. Mm-hmm. I did attach my wrist wrench to the ceiling above my sofa, so when I'm watching TV, I can just sit there and.
Yeah, I have a stack of weights with a belt right in front of the couch. It's like, yep.
You know what the funny part is? You can bring like 1 or 2 things in. But when it gets to be like 4 or 5, that's when you start hearing it.
Shit,
what the fuck? All this stuff. What kind of stuff? That's why you have basements. My basement has so much shit in it for training. It's crazy. Mm-hmm. But when you train, I don't know if you feel this is true or not, John, but I got all this stuff because I collected things. Let me see if this works. But I end up using 2 or 3 things.
Yeah.
Everything else is like it's just there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know? I mean, Ron Klemba told me something a long time ago, in that, you know, you have to learn how to arm wrestle, which is number 1. And then number 2 is that Bam Bam lift heavy things, Bam Bam get strong. It's not much more complicated than that. You just need to know where to put those pressures, right? You need to know what to lift and where to hit. But once you do that, it's about how much pressure can this thing hold, because that's what the other guy's going to test anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
You get to a certain point, everybody knows how to arm wrestle.
Well, some of us.
That was the biggest misconception for me when I started cracking that level, was I thought everybody that got there would be arm wrestling geniuses and have this IQ at the table, and you find out that that's not true. There are some people that I've set up with in the straps during competition, and I thought to myself, what are they doing? And they were setting up so badly, and they were good arm wrestlers. And they were setting up so badly in the straps with me that I thought that they must have been trying to trick me. And then like we set up, and then we're getting ready to go, and I'm like, oh no, they just don't know what they're doing. You know, some people just get maybe a little too in love with their strength, and then you start to set up, and they just want to be tied to you, like that kind of stuff, you know. And I figured once I got to that point, like everybody would be like so savvy that we'd all be kind of equal. And it's like, oh no, it's not. Like some guys are just so strong, they just want to be tied to you, just to take you for a ride.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure this happens to everybody when they ask you, oh, what's arm wrestling? It's all about technique, it's all about strength, blah, 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 blah. I always tell people in the early stages, it's just like chess. When you learn chess, first couple of weeks, people are smoky with 3 and 5 move checkmates, which is similar to, you know, if you just start pulling and someone pulls out a top roll, They'll just smash you because you have no idea.
Yep.
But then a few weeks in, you learn how to use your strength, and you can stop that. You can stop the little tricks people use, and it becomes a power sport. Years and years go by, you train, you get stronger, and then, to a certain point, the non-medically induced human being gets to a level of strength or whatever, and then comes back to strength again. And there's still somebody who's going to be powerful. But as you said many times in the show, the person who wins may only be incrementally stronger. And it just takes a little bit more momentum and a tiny bit more strength, and it can be a flash.
Yep. Well, yeah. What percentage causes a good war? What percentage of difference causes a 3-second tough match? And what percentage causes a flash? I don't think that those percentages are really that far off. I don't think it's like, 1%, 10%, 20%. I don't think it's that big of a gap.
I like to think of it as 1% because then everybody who beats me can say he's only 1% stronger than me.
Yeah.
That works well for me.
I'm still great.
If they're like 40% stronger than me, that's not good.
I'm still the fucking man.
Still the fucking man.
Still the fucking man if that guy didn't show up.
It's funny because all of us, even the ones of us that suck, you could still go into any place filled up with any number of athletes and men, and you could beat all of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was talking to Mike Shalhoub about this, and he was like, because he's in a little bit of a training slump, which is ridiculous because he could do nothing and come in and still beat everybody.
I know.
But anyway, he's at a CrossFit tournament watching his daughter, who is a social media star.
I know.
Some of you may know her.
Hell yeah.
But and he was like, I can't do this many pull-ups. And I was like, Mike, you could beat every single person in that room, regardless of what they weigh, in arm wrestling and not sweat. Some 400-pound guy could be in there powerlifting, whatever he wants. He gets in a hook with you, you're going to beat him. Period. And it's like, you forget how cool that is.
Yeah.
Like, I can't beat these 9 guys, but you can beat every fucking buddy else on the planet, man.
Right.
It's like we
focus on the We focus on the sliver percentage of people, and then we forget about the rest of humanity. Yeah, it's not cool anymore. Like when you first walked in, you just wanted to know how to beat somebody, and then your list gets small.
Chuck, it's not a good idea to not do anything. You got to still use that forearm, use that flexor. The two things that heal your arm the best.
Even if it's just like
movement,
just flexing like that, just
do something. Movement and massage. Keep working on it. If it hurts, you do upright it to the point where it starts hurting, and just keep it right in that range. But definitely don't do nothing. I mean, for example, my wrist. I'm literally 2 weeks out of surgery, and when they didn't put me in a splint, they didn't put me in a cast. I had an ace bandage on. He's like, start doing range of motion stuff immediately. It's like what they do now and what they recommend to recover is not what we thought growing up.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, when they did my shoulder, they said the doctor told me basically, he's like, listen, like with knees and this kind of stuff, he's like, we can pretty much have you moving that thing the day of. He's like, your shoulder? Sorry. We're still like in the BC era. He's like, we cut it open, we stitch it up, we let it fuse, and then we break it apart. He's like, it sucks. But yeah, I bet I could dig through. I have video like maybe 3 days after surgery, just swinging a little bit, just slightly. And man, that's when that's day one. You're just like, okay, I just want to be able to swing it just a little more.
Shoulder is tough anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jonathan, Callan did manage to beat 15 minutes on the dead hang, which is fucking nuts.
Callan's better than all of us. Let's just be honest.
Yeah, my son, that's what I'm talking about. My son is a climber. He was an arm wrestler for a while, and he was undefeated in every event he entered for like 2 years, but he's focusing on climbing now. He's incredibly strong. He did a 15-minute dead hang. So anybody who's tried that, you know how hard it is. And yeah, he's stronger than anybody I know pound for pound. So we'll see. I mean, he's still little. He's like 70 pounds. So I mean, he's got an advantage in that sense, but it's still crazy. Don't kill yourself, Chuck. We can talk about suicide.
You can always do that tomorrow. You can always do it tomorrow.
His arm hurts when he brushes his teeth.
Well, yeah. Welcome to arm wrestling, Chuck.
Don't need teeth.
Yeah.
Teeth are overrated.
Don't worry about
Plenty
it,
of people
bro.
don't have teeth.
Don't worry about it, bro. That's what they make mouthwash for. For arm wrestlers.
There's no such thing as done. Oh, let me tell you what happened here, because I didn't tell you. Can you see all these little marks on my arm?
Yeah.
All right. So there's
Mosquito
1,
bites?
2, 3, 3, 4. There's 5 little scars here.
Yep.
I don't know if you guys have seen it, but these top 2, those are basically probe marks. Like the machine sticks 2 spikes into you to hold itself in place.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what those first 2 marks are. And then these next 2 lower ones, one of them right here is where they went in to correct. They trimmed my hamate bone, trimmed it back because it was pressing into the triquetrum, which is the one right below it. So they're like squished into each other. So they trimmed the hamate back. And then this other one over here, they went in and fixed my torn cartilage, which was a TFCC cartilage, which is over here.
Mm-hmm.
They fixed that, and they also trimmed back a torn ligament I had. So they just take off the edge of it. And this, they went in and they deadened 2 nerves that went straight to the hamate bone. So the objective is to return me to what I was doing before. But it's amazing. It did all that stuff, and I was knocked out. It took 3 hours, and then they let you go, and you get no cast in this point.
That's crazy that they didn't give you anything like that. That's awesome, though.
You know, it's amazing, man. So I mean, I was nervous about it, but I mean, I was the first doctor. I actually talked to several of you guys about it, including Chris. That they were going to remove 3 bones, and then I went to get a second opinion from another doctor, and he turned out to be the doctor who trained the doctor who was going to remove 3 bones, and he's like, "Let's try this first, because this is not a big deal, and if it doesn't work, then we can do other things." But I mean, I'm really optimistic. This used to kill, but just doing that hurt like hell. Same thing with this.
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of flexibility anyway, but it doesn't hurt now. And so I couldn't do any kind of hook left-handed, because as soon as I got in this position, it was just agonizingly painful, and basically this side of my arm was just shut down.
Yeah.
So I could top roll a little bit, but not with any like certainty, and the wrist was just weak. So I'm optimistic of what's going to happen.
Well, the thing is, like, being able to pull with that is one thing, but being able to train is different, right? It's like it impedes your training so much.
Ryan Bowen, welcome to the show. We were talking about you earlier.
Yeah.
They said I was giving you shit, but I wasn't giving you shit. I was saying you have red hair and we don't. It's technically a compliment.
That's it. Yeah. I have some red hair.
I liked the idea of the bottom eight. I don't know who posted that, but I think that's a hilarious idea.
I think Devin made a video.
It was Devin. I think that's a great idea. They should totally do it. You know what I mean? You got the top 8, and then you got like 8 people that are like, good arm wrestlers and well known, but are not like that level. I think that'd be funny. We should totally do that. I thought that was a great idea. We're glad to be back too, Ryan. I was telling people earlier, I haven't watched a single minute of any of your shows, but I haven't watched a minute of our shows either. It's just I don't watch them. It's nothing to do with you personally or us personally, because I think I like us. I like Ryan too. I like all of us. I don't watch them. I'm gonna watch one though. I'm gonna pick an episode of Ryan's show, and I'm gonna watch it tonight after we're done here. I'm even gonna try to watch Joe Drella. No, I'm not gonna watch that. I'm gonna watch Ryan Bowen's show.
Oh, okay,
first.
Fair enough. Jody's show is pretty good too.
I watched Jody's show because it's on Facebook Live. You can just be scrolling down and it's there, and I'll sit there and I'll watch like 4 or 5 minutes and then I move on.
Yep.
So.
Because we're dedicated.
Yeah, Ryan, that's what I said too. I don't know, I think Ryan just said the bottom 8 is happening. I think that's great. I would watch that. I would 100% watch that. You know what? Because it'll probably be a lot more entertaining and less serious than the top 8. You know what I mean?
Could be.
I think it could be more fun. You know what I mean? Like, first off, you're going to call it the bottom 8. That's funny just by inherently.
Right.
So then you could make it be more of an entertaining show, I think.
Yeah.
Does Jonathan Lava have a show? I would watch that.
I think so now.
I would love to see Chris Gobby versus Ryan Bowen. I would love to see that match. So next time you come over here, Ryan, we should do it.
That would be.
I would travel to see that.
Watch out for that hook, bro.
Yes, and we can next year. Yeah, watch out for that hook, bro.
Watch out for that hook, bro. Trust me, he threw me across the table with it. That was horrible. As soon as I felt that, I'm like, I'm never going near that again. I will say this too about Chris. So, when we pulled the very first match, he tried to come up top of me, and I flashed him. And a lot of guys
a lot of guys would have started that the downhill slope of just that, falling down the mountain, never recovering. Chris came back up and he grabbed me by the wrist and he forced me inside, grabbed real low. Now, with a guy that can top roll you and you get up there and grab low, it does say something. That he didn't let that shit get in his head. And I'll tell you right now, the Chris inside is a serious problem. My hook was honestly so bad before my surgery that I couldn't really tell how strong. Chris felt strong as anybody else, like super heavyweight. Didn't matter. He felt that strong to me inside. It's like he might as well just been pushing on the peg left-handed. I never pulled him. I never even touched Chris right, but that left was crazy. It was hard enough when I had his wrist flat, but when he has it in, it's not good.
All right, I think we pumped his head up enough. We love you, Chris.
Yeah, I mean,
that's out there. It's in public
it's
now.
fine.
We've said it live on the show.
He's fine.
We can't take it back.
It's over. I'm gonna edit.
All right, is this a
Timestamps?
secret, Ryan? Who else is in the bottom 8? Is it a secret? If it's a secret and you got to announce on your show, I understand. But give us like a couple names if you have any. Besides you, like it's Ryan and who else? Who else should be in the bottom 8? Like, what would be the right people to put on that?
Yeah, didn't they announce 4 of them? If I'm up to, we're the worst. We have an arm wrestling podcast. What the fuck?
Travis said that to me once. I was like, Travis, you should go to Worlds and win a gold medal. And he's like, I did.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, well, win another one. And he's like, what the hell are you doing a show about arm wrestling for if you don't know anything about arm wrestling? And I said, why would I need to do a show about arm wrestling if I knew everything about arm wrestling? I wouldn't learn anything.
Right.
And he's like, remind me not to argue with you anymore. I miss Travis, too.
If the elbow comes up, it's a foul. Mm-hmm. I know about arm wrestling. Mm-hmm. You have to show the thumb knuckle. Straight wrist, center of the table.
Craig Soblier is in the bottom 8. Mac Telly. Oh, my God.
Forget it.
I'm changing my mind about watching it now.
Marty canceled. Get this trash out of here.
I know. I'm going to be busy that day.
Yeah, big
I'm
plans.
going to be at Disney World. All right, what else do we need to talk about?
I have to wash my hair that day.
You have to wash your hair that day. What else do we need to talk about?
I don't know.
Anything?
I don't think so. Nice hoodie.
Crowbar. Yeah, Crowbar. That's right. I'm going to see them. They're coming to Boston in 2 weeks.
Oh, nice.
But underneath the hoodie is this.
Oh!
Do you guys have one of these shirts?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Because
sell more of them.
The $25, 100% goes to Team USA. So Chris Gabi, you being a huge fan of the United States, should buy 2 or 3 of them.
Yeah, come on, bro.
And it's got really cool arms on the back.
Come on, bro.
Some people are like, why'd you guys put your name on the front? It's like, we made this shirt. I don't know why I put a name. We just had to put something on the front. Sorry.
Yeah, dicks.
So next time we won't put our name on the front. But you still have to buy one of these anyway.
Yeah, assholes. Buy a shirt. I don't have a hand control shirt on.
Who is Tim fighting? So like someone said, talk about Tim Bresnan's. That's not hand control. That's not officially approved. That's not an approved shirt.
Come on. Okay. Who's Tim fighting? I don't know.
We have actual arm wrestling questions here.
Oh, sorry.
I don't know if they have. I don't think they've announced the matchups in the top 8. But I think that Tim is going against Prudnik.
I think so too.
That's the rumor that I heard.
They already did this. I guess Prudnik wants another shot. But yeah, they already did that.
Well, they pulled it like it was an overall or something, wasn't it?
No, they did an overall, and Prudnik beat him on fouls, and then they had him do a PAL.
Yes, that's probably
a vendetta.
They did a PAL.
Yeah, they did a vendetta, and Timmy got to 4-0, and Prudnik tapped out.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I wonder why they're doing it again.
I do know. I mean, to be fair to Prudnik, his shoulder was pretty jacked during that time, so maybe he's feeling better, and he wants another crack.
All right, who do you pick in that match then?
Timmy. I'll never not pick Tim.
Yeah, you're like asking anybody up here in New England who's going to win the Super Bowl next week.
Dude, the fucking Patriots are going to win.
Tom Brady is God. He's football God. Okay? It kills Megan when I do that. My Raw Vidget Jr. impression.
Yeah, that was actually not a bad Rob Vision Jr. impression.
I know.
Listen, I'm from New England. I don't give a fuck who wins. Ever since Tom Brady started saying "drink more water and you won't get a sunburn," I can't stand it. It's like, fucking play football or whatever sport it is you play.
Dude,
Just
you gotta
stand back
hydrate.
and keep your mouth shut.
You gotta hydrate, kid.
What shit is that to say? Tell somebody. Drink more water, you won't get sunburns, man. If anybody listened to that and did it, they deserve whatever degree burn they get. It's an automatic Darwin Award. It's like he's participating in natural selection for us by saying stupid stuff like that and see how many idiots come on and spend the day outside and come in looking like a fucking lobster. You know? I mean, who the fuck would do that? And the other shit he
Tom
says
Brady
in there,
said so.
like,
He told me
oh
to
my
drink
God.
water.
Just shut up. You know?
Yeah, Tom.
Chris says
Fuck.
Pudnick Torres rotator cuff versus Tim.
Right.
Who do you guys think wins right now versus, between Tim and Pudnick?
Okay, well,
We know what I'll tell you what I think.
Okay. Think about it.
I think Tim would win.
Yeah.
I do think Tim would win. I think Tim is too strong. He's stronger than Pudnick. I feel comfortable saying that. Pudnick is a better technique arm wrestler, but I think that Tim has the endurance to beat Pudnick. So I would pick Tim in that match.
Yeah, I think, it's just a hard day for Prudnick. It's just damn tough. I mean, people just forget that Timmy is a big, strong, good arm wrestler. And that's what I wanted to ask you. We can talk about that.
Yes.
What's your opinion on the Bresnan versus Babayev match?
My opinion is that Babayev won, and that the fouls are part of the sport.
Yep.
People should stop whining about it. That's
too.
my opinion.
Me too.
Listen, I'm watching that match. I love Tim. I was just training with Tim 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
I thought Babayev was going to win. Like, after the first match, I was like, wow, he looks really good. And Rustam is one of the very best in the world. It's not losing to him is not. I know that both of them said that it felt like nothing. I know Rustam was like, Tim didn't feel like anything to me, and Tim said the same thing. But they are both full of shit because they were stalled out in the middle of the table and they were both going as hard as they could. Nobody was moving.
Right. I think
So
the
what if
foul
down-
outs. I think the foul outs, like you said, are a part of the sport, and I think that's what you see when you have two athletes that are at 100% and they can't win. It gets sloppy. Listen, the only reason you elbow foul is if you're not well trained, which both of them are. They're both well trained. They both know the dimensions of the table. They're not new. Or if you're not strong enough. And neither one of them were strong enough. If they were strong enough, they could have won. There was no pins. There was 12 fouls and no pins.
I wasn't disappointed when I was watching. I was watching and I was like, well, I was enjoying the strategy and the technique going on. I was disappointed that there weren't any pins, but
Right.
to me it was like they were fighting each other. And it does suck, but I didn't see anything get called that wasn't a foul. It was like the ref was doing his job. And there were so many people that were so pissed about it.
And at the
I
refs,
didn't see Tim complaining about it, but later on people said Tim was upset about it too. But I don't know. I mean, he seemed fine after the match. I'm sure he would rather have won, but it is the rules are the rules.
Yep.
And the reason they were fouling is because they were both expending maximum effort and they're trying to get any kind of advantage they could, and that's what happens.
Right.
Like you said, if one of them was significantly stronger, then it wouldn't have happened. But it did happen. And it is what it is. That's how the cookie crumbles. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's part of the sport. It's part of the sport. And the thing that irritates me is when people come down the referees for that kind of shit. It's like, listen, if they broke the rules, then the referee called it every time. Listen, that ref does not want to call those fouls. He knows how the internet goes. In that he knows that there's going to be a certain percentage of people that are just going to be like, that referee fucking sucks. And so he doesn't want to call those fouls. He's calling them because he has to follow the rules because he's a referee. So you can't be mad at something, but you don't have to be mad at the referee for following the rules.
Chris just made another good point. I hate giving him credit for those good points, but he said, Tim is underrated. He's not underrated by this show, because I know we've spoken about Tim a bunch of times on here, and we've picked him to win almost every match. I did pick him to lose in Rustam, but I think I picked him to win every other match, and he did win almost all of them. Tim's awesome, and he's probably the oldest guy that competes at that level currently.
Yeah,
unless
he's
I'm wrong.
criminally underrated.
You know what I
He
mean?
just
So
is.
it's like you can't sleep on Tim, and anyone who does is going to get beat by him.
And the adversities that he's come through with his,
Yeah, exactly.
it's
The various
it's
physical
crazy.
stuff he's overcome, and I mean, Voveda is a perfect example. You know, they gave him that match because he's like, I'll just go right through Bresnan, and then I'll be back on top again. Whoops!
I can tell you, man, you should have been in that room
I wish
when
I
he
had
couldn't
it.
beat Tim.
I know. Well, I
It was
remember
like,
we
oh my
talked
God.
about it when that first match happened, and you know, Tim stopped him right in the center of the table before they slipped.
Yeah.
And Tim was like, he was like, yeah, because he was like, all right, I feel what you got, motherfucker.
Yeah,
and that's not enough.
I can tell you right now, Timmy lost that first match on fouls. And he came back to his bench, and I told him, don't worry about it, bro. Don't worry about it. I know you can't see it, but you should have seen his face. He doesn't think he can beat you. You know, as soon as they said go, like, they slipped, and you could just see Vovoda was like, oh, shit. Like, I can't keep my hand like I normally do with people, with this guy. Because they kind of have the same strengths, you know? Like, they're both amazingly strong-handed. Amazing strong hands. And what happens is that Timmy's hand is strong enough to contain Alexi. And Alexi's is strong enough to contain Timmy's. So they end up in a hook. Well, Timmy can hook. He actually, in my opinion, he should go to it more often than he does. I think you can see
his
a really
forearm
good.
is the size of a football.
Well, yeah, but like when he first started, his hook was it was a big weak point, and he just over the years just built it. And the thing is, like, if you watch the very first match of him and Devin in Vegas with Arm Wars with Neil Pickup's organization, you look at the first match with him and Devin where Timmy beats Devin. They go to straps, and Timmy goes to top roll Devin, and Devin stops him. And then Timmy hooks him and then turns into the hook, like really, really like dedicates to the hook and just goes through him. It's like sometimes I wish there wasn't that 5 to 8 second transition for Tim to get to a good hook, because once he gets there, it is tough. It's just he's a little vulnerable getting there, unfortunately. But I think it's something that can be corrected.
I would pick Tim in that match. So I'm not ignoring you guys' questions. There's a million of them. We're so absorbed in our
Don't
own
blame
thoughts.
us. Don't blame us for being popular, man.
Austin, who pointed out earlier that he and I agreed politically this week.
That's nice.
I did a little dance. I would have done a cartwheel, but my wrist is hurt, so I couldn't do a cartwheel. But I was
Listen,
very
we
excited.
must build the wall.
But he says,
You must build the wall.
where is Latalin in relation to the top 8? He is
That's
not
a
far
great
off.
question.
He is not far off at all.
I
think
would say-
he needs to have some more matches with people, because I have a lot of optimism about how he would do against people.
That guy,
He's impressive.
he's a problem. And what I've read is that he's like really dedicated now to being a super heavyweight. Because for a bit, he really hasn't been. He's one of those guys, he's 6'7" or whatever and can make 242s. You know, and he's like, I think he's kind of dedicated, like, yeah, I think I'm going to be big now. And it's like, oh, fuck. That's what all those supers are probably
I
thinking.
know.
God damn it. Why do you have to do that? Because I think, like, him and, I think an awesome breakout match for him would be him and Trubin. Nice tall posters. I feel bad for
I was going to
Trubin,
say
though,
that guy
man.
Alex, the Kurdoka guy. Who would be a good
I think
match
he'd
for him.
go through him, to be honest with you. I just do.
I think he would go through him too.
I think he'd go through a lot of people.
but he might go through Trubin. It depends what Trubin shows up.
I just feel bad for Trubin lately, man. He's got to get a win back.
Trubin looks like he's attached himself to a tire inflator. Someone about to turn the pressure off.
Yeah.
You know, it's like. Did you see? I know you saw it. Big Trouble in Little China.
Yeah.
You remember how Thunder died?
Yeah.
That's what he looks like. He
Yeah.
looks like a giant tick about to pop.
Yeah.
If he went back to whatever his real weight is, which is probably like 198, he probably would beat everybody.
He was 209. He was awesome. He was so good then. But the thing was, you know, to be honest with you, like, all performance enhancing aside, we'll just say, you know, is what it is. I honestly think the best I've ever seen Trubin was against Michael Todd.
Yeah.
And that was like
Arnold?
265 pounds.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
Yeah, I
the
guess-
Vendetta.
The Vendetta, right?
Yeah. I think, you know, in my opinion,
he was just so good. He
was
was
good.
and he was
That
so
was-
well rounded. And he could pull for a long time.
Yes. His technique was incredible.
Everything was just good. You know, he could pull for a real long time. He was, you know,
Yeah.
everything.
We should go back to that.
I think so. I don't think the extra.
It's like Devin should stick to the 225s. He should stick to around 260, and he gets what he gets at that weight. You know.
Yep, and I think he was just the best version of himself. I don't think he really gained a whole lot more out of that 40 pounds. I just don't.
What do we really think about I mean, his wife, WAL. I like watching WAL. I just wish they would pick some fucking rules and enforce them. That's it. Whatever the rules they decide, however crazy they are, whether I like them or not, I just want them to stick to them so the matches can be fair. That's it. I know they changed one of the rules to fuck Michael Todd over this year. So we'll see how that...
What's that?
Yeah, if you remember last year, you were not allowed to put your shoulder under the table unless you were in a neutral or winning position.
Right.
They changed it to winning position, so no more neutral. So now if your shoulder drops below and you're in a neutral or losing position, it's a foul. So that's Michael Todd's move, because he's pretty much in a neutral position the entire match until the guy runs out of gas. So if they enforce that, Michael Todd is not going to have any success. It's a question of will they enforce it. My guess to be no. But if you look, I don't think we ever talked about this. Maybe we did. But that after the match with Devin and him that they were all excited about, which is a hard match to watch for everybody. People like us, we know King's move, people are split on or whatever, but if you looked at the comments on the WL page, which was 99% non-arm wrestlers, they were all negative. Who the fuck is that guy? Why is he all the way under the table? That's not arm wrestling. That guy's a bitch. Like, hundreds of them. And if you're working for WAL, you got to look at that and say, that's not good. Because that's not going to make them come back and watch. It made them not like watching the sport. It wasn't like they want to see people beat this guy. It was like, if they can do that, this is a stupid sport. I'm not watching it.
Yeah.
So it would be smart, business-wise, for them to eliminate that move, because most of the other matches were pretty fucking good, I thought. I mean, aside from the ridiculous rule variations. So I'm curious whether they'll enforce that. If they do, I mean, I think Mike's in trouble.
Yeah, you know, I just see there's so many issues with the WAL that I don't quite, it makes no sense to me. There's no rhyme or reason to a lot of it. And the thing is, I don't understand the second floor of WAL, like the guys, you know, like Kaplan and whoever his team is, don't recognize what a sport needs to grow, like to really grow. And it seems it's so far off, it makes me wonder if he's like really, really wants that to happen. I mean, I don't think it's a real secret that he wants to sell it.
Who, though?
Anyone? But I mean, the thing is,
Who would buy it?
I don't know.
That's what I don't get.
But the thing is, like, I don't understand like this new thing where they're injecting weight classes into like the tournament ones. Like they're injecting different weight classes now into it. Like where I think there's like a 190 and a 210 or something like that, or 215.
What they actually said, you may have missed this
Okay.
when you were watching Trump videos, was that promoters are allowed to do any weight classes they want.
Right. Even worse.
It is kind of stupid.
It's fucking terrible.
I mean,
Listen.
wait, how can we make this sport have the least amount of consistency possible? What can we do to further alienate everybody?
Whatever professionalism we had, let's get rid of more of it. Like, I don't understand. Why would you ever sit around with a group of people who understand sports and how these things work and go, yeah, tell the promoters whatever class they want. It's cool with us. It doesn't make any sense, especially for like, the progression of any kind of combat sport has ever taken. Has never been what the WL has been doing. That's confusing to me. Why wouldn't you just steal it from everyone else in order to go that route? It'd be best for everyone, business and otherwise. You know, you can't.
The other thing
You can't have like.
when XFL showed up and they changed those little things. I mean, you already have standardized weight classes that are internationally recognized. Why do you have to fuck with them? Just use them. Everybody knows them. Everybody already is modifying the weight to make one of those classes, so you don't have to do shit. You don't have to run all of them, but you can still use them. You know, use 154, 198, or whatever. It's there. Everybody knows it. Just use them. What the fuck difference does it make if it's 205 or 215? Is it really going to change that much?
I really,
using the regular ones?
yeah.
You know,
If that starts deterring competitors from saying yes or no, like 10 pounds, 5 pounds here or there,
they're in the wrong sport
then
anyway.
the sport has a bigger problem than any of us can fix.
Exactly.
And by the way, I do think there is a bit of that. I do think that there's people who are 170 pounds who go like, oh, fuck, I'm not 176. All those guys are like, the 76ers are filled with 85ers that come down. I'm only 170. There's no place for me. Dude, what?
I wish.
Josh, when you were a kid and there was some bully or whatever, did you like go, hey man, I want to, wait, how much do you weigh? Man, my elbow's a little sore.
Sorry.
Can I come back in like 3 days? Like my elbow's a little sore. Like, what? Like this is not competitive. Like you're supposed to be a competitor. Those little things are things you're thinking about that don't matter. And this shit does exist.
We're copying boxing now. You know? We have
Every 6 pounds, buddy.
75 weight classes and nobody wants to fight anybody else. It's like, well, I can't fight those guys. Let's make another weight class,
Right.
3 pounds between the two that exist so that I can be a world champion too.
Yeah.
We should do that. Maybe I could be like the 196-pound world champion.
There you go. Yeah.
And just not tell anybody. Like that guy did in Britain when he had his own nationals.
Remember?
And he won it.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm a multiple-time national champion.
Beast.
They used to be able to do that in the United States, but now we only have one national, so you can't play that game anymore.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
Yep. I'm gonna make a weight class for 33-year-olds. I'm gonna enter this year.
See, that's what I always say climbing. I wish they had in climbing competitions, I wish they had like a 47 and up age bracket for 200 pounds to say like 210 pounds men.
Yeah.
I would fucking destroy that category.
Yeah. I don't see anybody better. We should just switch to rock climbing.
Chris Gobby wants to be a Masters. I've decided that he wants to be in the Masters class. Drop the testosterone and join us on the dark side with the rest of the gray-haired motherfuckers, man. You can do it. You're still going to have to work your ass off. You're not going to go in there and smash everybody. Those bastards are motherfucking tough. I would love to see you do it. Just do it! It's okay to be in your 40s and 50s.
You ever had like a really bad?
master.
You ever had like a really bad rough piece of beef jerky? Yeah. Yeah.
It's my personal goal.
To get Chris in the Masters.
I don't care what he says about it before, after, during. He can talk all this shit he wants. I just want to do it one time.
Yep.
You can still enter open. It's fun to do both. It actually gives you the opportunity to pull more when you do both. Like at Nationals, all of us are going to be doing Masters on Saturday, and then open on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's a built-in excuse. If you lose Sunday, you can just say, oh, I pulled last night, Masters.
I'm all messed up now.
I'm all messed up now. It's brilliant. And you don't have the ability to use that excuse. I can arrange that too, Chris. I can arrange that. I'm tight with Tim. So
Arrange what?
careful what you wish. You don't want this is a PG show. I can't read you what he wrote.
Okay.
Just saying.
Sorry. Is it a Masters only conversation?
That time up in Main States, that was almost like a sexual incident when you guys had that super match in Main States. Were you there, John?
With who?
Chris Scobby and Tim Lewis.
Oh no, I wasn't.
Yeah. That was a great match. They spent the entire time in the center of the table, and Chris ended up beating him.
I do remember that. I do remember that.
Back in the day.
Watch out for that guy.
Thing is, let's see, what class would you be in? Actually, Chris, if you did 176 Masters, there's a Russian guy who's won the last 3 years, Antonov. You could take him out for the good of
Canada.
Democracy in general.
Wow, that's pretty.
Honestly, if you love your country, then you will do it.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm gonna ask Trump. I'm gonna ask Trump to build a wall.
You get older, man. You get older.
Separating the United States and Canada.
You can still compete in opens. You do both.
Yeah.
Get more opportunities to dominate and crush. Engen Terzi, for example, he won Masters left-handed and open right-handed at Worlds. That's badass as far as I'm concerned.
Engen and our buddy there are pulling too. Did you see that?
Oh, yeah. We didn't talk about that.
No.
And they're talking some serious shit to each other.
I've seen.
I've never seen Engen talk shit like that. At least not online. He's going crazy. And Mindaugas is doing the same thing.
I saw some of the trash talk, and it was like,
It's like you can tell that neither one of them is really comfortable with it.
with English
It's like,
too, or maybe English. Yeah, it's like, I will fold your wrist back like a wrist that folds back. And it's like, oh. Well, your hand feels like a hand that's not an adult male's hand. It's like that kind of trash talk. It's like, just don't.
Who do you think's gonna win?
What's his name? I don't think Engen's gonna win.
You don't think Engen's gonna
I
win?
don't. No.
Right-handed.
Is it right? Yeah, I don't think so. I don't.
I think he is gonna win.
I
Did you
love
see the
Engen.
match with Mindaugas and Daniel?
Yeah. Yep.
I was shocked by that. I was like, what is he doing? You know, he was that like continuous hitting. He totally destroyed his arm for
It's
the
not a
entire
good.
match.
Yeah, it's never
I
really.
don't understand that. He's a smart arm wrestler. I've never seen him do anything like that before. I haven't talked to him about what he was thinking. But he's going to have to be a lot smarter against Engen.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you can't flash somebody, then you become a boa constrictor. You know. You keep flashing, trying to flash, hit and hit and hit and hit. It doesn't. Typically, if somebody can stop you with less than ideal control, then just keep banging on it. It's not really going to work usually.
It's not going to work.
You can usually just kind of tuck in and go along for it. But when someone's in a bad position like that and you can't pin them, the best thing you can do is keep them in that horrible spot, not let them back to center over and over again. You know what I mean? It doesn't make any sense.
Taking Engen. Engen's on a roll. He's crushing people.
Would not shock me. Engen's
Plus,
probably
he's
the
a
best
master,
lightweight of all time.
So he's my people.
Right. That's true.
Engen and I are tight.
Yep.
I was talking to him at
Like your
Turkey
joints.
about Joe Fitzsimmons.
Yep.
Have you met Joe Fitzsimmons?
Yeah.
You remember him when he was born?
Hell yeah.
So he was talking about Joe. Him and Joe were tight when Engen was visiting the States.
Yeah, he lived here for a few years.
He did.
Yeah.
Smashed everybody.
Yeah.
Almost everybody, not everybody.
Well, he was like 130 pounds. He was pretty much smashing everybody.
Well, him and Roman, or John Booley, whatever you want to call him, the same thing.
Whoever,
There's those crazy guys out there who just have like diesel hydraulic press in there. I mean, when I got my wrist hurt, I was like, is there any kind of like bionic stuff you can do? Like put in some. I showed him a picture of the Terminator arm. You remember when it gets ripped open? And
Yeah, it's like,
all these metal. I was like, can you do any like metal tendons, anything like that? But they're like, no, we can't do it.
Like, fuck you, asshole.
I was disappointed about that.
Shit.
Because I was talking to Seth Barnett. He says the metal plates in his left arm, he says he thinks they help. He says he thinks his arm is more rigid because of those, which of course makes sense. I wonder if it really does make a difference, and I don't know. Maybe you just have more confidence that nothing's going to happen to your arm, so you can go as hard as you can because the bones are supported by metal.
Could be. Could be.
Speed kills. All right, we've been doing this 90 minutes. How long are we going? These guys don't miss us that fucking much.
No.
Say that.
I think we're done, bro.
All right, we're done.
All right.
Yo, it was fun being back. We missed you guys. Maybe we'll do another show. You
Yeah,
never
like
know.
another 9 months. Season 3, episode 1.
Seriously, though, we did miss you guys. I appreciate you spending the time with us. Have a
Yep.
great night. We'll see you soon.
Out.
Out. Audi 5000.
You have to say your adios, bro.
What do I usually say?
Adios.
Adios.
Fade to black.